So many of you have asked me to do a video on mango fragrances, and that's exactly what I'm doing for you guys today, a top 15 mango fragrances video. You know, it took me a while to compile a list of fragrances featuring this note. I don't think it's a very popular note, but there do seem to be, you know, this fruit featured in some fragrances, and it turns out I have about 12, and I decided to end up buying a few others just to make it a top 15. So today I've got a top 15 mango fragrances video for you guys. If you're curious to find out about them, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yes, we're talking about mango as a fruit. Are you a fan of this fruit in fragrances? Do you enjoy the fruit to eat or in fragrances only? It's funny, as a kid, in my, I don't know, like probably 17, around that time, teens I guess, I ate a lot of mangoes at one time, and I broke out in a rash, and then the doctor figured out that I was allergic to mangoes. I've since then slowly gotten into eating mangoes. It's not my favorite fruit, but I stay cautious with it. But I enjoy them in fragrances here. And we've got various different fragrances. We've got women's fragrances, we've got men's fragrance, but the rest of them are fairly unisex. Why don't we go ahead and get started at number 15, a fairly new one from the House of Banana Republic. This is Midnight Hour, this one right here. This is a fragrance created by Christelle Laprade. Laprade? Is that how you say it? Laprade. This fragrance to me seems like kind of an Aventus-like DNA. Not smelling identical, but sort of kind of going in that direction. That kind of fragrance with the fruitiness, and then the woods and the leather that's in here, that's known to be in like Aventus and other fragrances. I quite enjoy this particular fragrance. I would call this a fairly dumb reach fragrance because it smells pleasant. Most likely people will react positively to it, and I like it. It's just something that I would put on if I don't know what else to put on. You know, that makes sense. Just spray it on and go out for the day. But it features notes of patchouli, hedione, leather, musk, ginger, mango skin, crushed leaves, and star anise. So it's the mango skin here, so I don't get much fruitiness. Yeah, it's there, but you know, it'll remind you of Aventus and things like that, but I think it's a pleasant fragrance. Midnight Hour at number 15 from Banana Republic. Now we're moving on to a feminine fragrance. This is a fragrance from the house of CLINIQUE. This is CALYX. Originally created in '87 by Sophia Grojsman. It was reformulated in 2013, but it does feature lots of tropical fruits in addition to the mango. There's mango here, there's guava, there's green notes, there's passion fruit, there's papaya, grapefruit, mandarin orange, lily of the valley, lily freesia, oak moss, vetiver, sandalwood. A lot of stuff happening. It's funny, in the older days they used to publish a lot of notes for fragrances. Now it's like top note, one note, heart note, one note, base note, one note. It's like, what are they doing? But you know, I like the fact that they used to publish all these notes, and I'm sure there's more notes that go into a fragrance to create a fragrance rather than just a one note in the top and the heart in the base. That's what I like about this one, because it's so complex. It wears complex, and even though it's been reformulated, I think this has been kept pretty good. It still smells great, and if you like the idea of fruity, floral, and also green fragrances, definitely try CALYX. The mango is definitely prominent there along with other tropical fruits. So do let me know if you're a fan of those fragrances, and if there is a favorite mango fragrance that you enjoy that I haven't named yet. But moving on to number 13, it's KILIAN's Moonlight in Heaven. So this one I'm a little not sure about. I feel like it's just one of those subtle fragrances that you have to not expect a lot to go on with, then you'll start enjoying it. Does that make sense? It's a 2016 offering by Calice Becker. It features notes of mango, coconut, grapefruit, vetiver, rice, pink pepper, tonka beans, and lemon. I feel like this is more of basically the mango with the coconut and the grapefruit and the vetiver. That's pretty much what's running the show here. But the rice, I would also have to mention, is pretty prominent as well, because I feel like it tones down everything. Rice as a note, it's a soft, you know, I'm visualizing white, powdery, things like that with rice, so it has this kind of a toning down quality. That's why there's a very much subtle quality about this one. But, you know, you definitely experience the mango and the coconut and, of course, the vetiver and grapefruit for sure. I don't know, what do you guys think about the Moonlight in Heaven? Let me know if you like it. It's at number 13 in my list today. Moving on to the house of Perfumology. I don't know if you guys know this house. This is a perfume shop and also a brand, well, under the perfume shop. This is SUDU Tea. So this is a very interesting fruity tea fragrance style, but I feel like there's lots of leather here. I feel like I'm getting osmanthus in this particular fragrance in addition to the other fruits that are mentioned here. There's green mango, but there's also lychee. But I feel like there's definitely something leathery under there that's kind of creating this kind of osmanthus-like experience, because osmanthus is a fruit, it's a flower that has kind of a stone fruit like smell to it, but also leather. So they could probably be using leather in here, but you know, it's very fruity. It's fruity, it features white tea, masoya wood, lychee fruit, green mango, frangipani, orchid, mandarin orange, benzoin, and sandalwood. Yeah, there's a creaminess about it. It does settle to woods and it's a little ambery in the dry down, but lots of citruses, lots of flowers. There's the fruits in here. The mango is definitely prominent, but for me, this is to me like a fruity tea with a leather style. So SUDU Tea at number 12. Alright, moving on to a fragrance from the house of L'Artisan Parfumeur. We've got 2 fragrances from the house of L'Artisan Parfumeur. We've got 3 fragrances created by Bertrand Duchaufour in this list. We've got 2 fragrances, possibly 3, created by Chris Maurice as well. But the next fragrance is from the house of L'Artisan Parfumeur. This is NUIT de Tubereuse. NUIT de Tubereuse is, you know, like a dark tuberose. Is that what it means? Nuit, nighttime tuberose. This is a fragrance created by Bertrand Duchaufour. So it's tuberose, pink pepper, cloves, angelica, mango, woods, ylang ylang. There's definitely a tropical vibe here, also the fruity vibe, and I feel like this starts off in your face tuberose, and eventually it gets fruity and also woodsy and a little spicy when it's drying down as well. There's definitely warmth there from the cloves and some fresh spice from the pink pepper, and also I feel like there's a light vegetal touch from that angelica note, which also creates a powdery styling. So this is Nuit de Tubereuse from the house of L'Artisan Parfumeur. Moving on to the house of Zoologist Perfumes. This is KILIAN. This one right here. So I don't speak much about this one. As I was going through my collection, I noticed that it's a fragrance that features mango, and I wanted to highlight it for you guys. It's definitely not one of my all-time favorite Zoologist Perfumes fragrances. My favorite is still B. I love that one. But I think definitely this one should be highlighted because it definitely has kind of a tropical, fruity, marine styling to it. It features ylang ylang, starfruit, mango, frangipani, coconut, violet leaves, cashmeran, vanilla, sea breeze, sandalwood, musks, lemon, salty skin. So the salty skin, I feel like you can totally experience here. Definitely there's a saltiness about it, and I feel like the saltiness comes in also from the sea breeze. So it's got the salty skin, which is a little musky, a little I don't know how you... I feel like musky is the way to describe the salty skin. Salty and musky at the same time, because there's really no odor or smell of the skin except for the musk of the human that we're talking about as far as skin goes. So that's what I'm getting with this one. So there's definitely muskiness and saltiness for sure, but it's lots of fruits. Of course the mango and the star fruit, and then of course the coconut adds a little milkiness here, and then you've got the beachy tropical flowers of the frangipani. So this is KILIAN from the house of Zoologist Perfumes at number 10. Alright, moving on to another classic feminine fragrance, but this one's not from the 80s, this is from the 90s, but let me just reiterate on the first classic feminine fragrance called CALYX. So this was from the 80s, but then it was redone in the 2000, I believe 2010s, in 2013 is when it was redone. That's why I feel like that was kept pretty solid. And the next one, another feminine release created by Dominique Ropion, is Kenzo Jungle from 1996. I feel like the reformulation for this is also pretty solid, even though it is not one of my all-time favorite feminine fragrances. For mango, I feel like it deserves to be on this list here pretty high. I mean, I'm not featuring it at number 1, it's at number 9, but against the other fragrances, I think this is definitely solid. It's a very unique fragrance where you have like a fresh fruitiness and tropical, you know, vibe to this fragrance, but then there's the warm notes of cloves. So cloves are, for me, like very warm, holiday-ish kind of things. But it does feature cardamom, heliotrope, cloves, mango, ylang ylang, licorice, and vanilla. Strange combo. It works. There's a bit of a medicinal vibe running throughout it as well. Very interesting fragrance. Fruity, tropical, warm, spicy. Having a hard time putting that back on. Anyway, that's Kenzo Jungle. Absolutely love the little cap on this one. Really cute, as you can see right there. Anyway, that is at number 9. Moving on to the House of Wilhelm Parfumerie. This is Mango Skin. Do you guys know this one? Are you a fan of this house? So this is, it doesn't mention who the perfumer is on the databases, but I believe it's Jérôme Epinay who does a lot of the fragrances here for this house. This one launched in 2018, but it's definitely a fruity fragrance blast when it starts. Eventually develops into more of a woods and spice combo. So it's mango, black pepper, patchouli, blackberries, wild orris, black lotus, jasmine, pink sugar. So very unique notes once again. There's definitely fruitiness here, not only from the mango but the blackberries. There's definitely lots of spice, earthiness from the patchouli, and that's where we're getting the woods as well. The patchouli is very woody, or has a woody experience, but also very, very earthy. You've got powdery touches from orris, and then the black lotus. Lotus to me has a watery, light floral touch to it, and that's what we're getting here. And then of course we got a little bit of that sweetness from that pink sugar, and a little other floral touch from the jasmine. So this is Mango Skin. I was expecting more fruits from that. It's not necessarily uber fruity, but there's enough fruitiness there to, you know, highlight that mango note pretty prominently. Next, going to the House of Xerjoff, this is Indochine. So Indochine, created by Chris Maurice. Indochine to me is a bit challenging. If you're not into skanky or dirty ouds or funky animalic ouds, stay away from this one. But it's done in a way that you've got the funky animalic skanky oud contrasted with this kind of tropical fruity sweetness to kind of give it a interesting, you know, combination. Like it's like toning down the animalicness from the oud that's in here. So, you know, I think it works. It's just you have to like enjoy animalics. And as I said, for me, I can tolerate it, even though it's a little overwhelming with the animalics. But some of you might be a little more challenged with this one if you don't like animalic notes. But it's mango, oud, strawberry, musk, and caramel. So yeah, the oud is what's really animalic in here. I don't know if they're using any other animalic notes, but it's pretty intense. Like it's a punch in your face. You gotta like that. If you don't, stay away from this one, as I said. But I feel like the mango, the strawberry, and the caramel tones that down and kind of makes it more balanced, and then throw in some musk in here. I think it's pretty solid. I do have a challenging time with it, but in comparison to the other mango fragrances, I think this is definitely mango delicious. So it's Xerjoff's Indochine from 2019 at number 7. Again, that's created by Chris Maurice. So moving on, it's funny, we've got 3 Chris Maurice fragrances back to back. So at 7 we had Indochine. At number 6, a fragrance I wasn't that into, and all of a sudden it's opened up to me. I really am enjoying the fruitiness here and the saltiness. This is Wid from the House of Jazil, once again created by Chris Maurice. So this is musk, melon, mango, orange, magnolia, rose, cedar, jasmine, amber. For me, melon can be a challenging note because something in the melon's molecular structure, kind of like when they amp it up too much, it creates for this kind of like marine smell to it. So this one, I think that's what was going on with it. My nose was going right to that, and I was turned off by it. But I've kind of circled back to this, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit, especially the fact that it's also very, very long lasting. But yeah, if you like the idea of fruity fragrances with citruses and flowers, and of course settling to the woodiness, and of course I mentioned salt in this, I get saltiness in here as well. So I feel like there's definitely something salty, or like a salt note or a marine note or something, sea breeze or something. It's definitely added here to give me that kind of saltiness to create more of a beach or marine, you know, styling. Anyway, this is Jazil's Wid at number 6. Before it was kind of way at the bottom if I would have put this list together. Moving on to another Xerjoff fragrance and another Chris Maurice fragrance. This is Cruz del Sur 2. 2017. Well, I have to kind of like take that back. I don't know if this is Chris Maurice creation. I couldn't find out, but he does a lot of Xerjoff fragrances, so I'm assuming he created this one. But it does feature notes of mango, pineapple, floral bouquet, cedarwood, musk, and sandalwood. But to me, there's also the the note of milk or lactonic something missing in this particular note structure. Perhaps we're getting this milky lactonic touch here from the sandalwood, because sandalwood can create this milkiness. But maybe there's milk, because I'm getting very, very milky, like you're taking the fruits, you're smashing them and mixing them with milk, and you're, you know, drinking it up. That's the kind of creamy milkiness I'm getting with this particular fragrance with lots of fruits. There's definitely the presence of flowers and musk and lots of woods, but very unique fragrance. This is Cruz del Sur 2 from Xerjoff at number 5. Moving on to the House of Hermes, this is Un Jardin sur le Nil. Where is the writing here? It's this way. Un Jardin sur le Nil. On the previous channel, I got so pissed off at this fragrance, I actually did a video and said I'm getting rid of my bottle. I don't like this fragrance. I did, at the time, I was pretty new, like 2013, and I had just launched a channel in 2012. In fact, it's already been 10 years since I've been doing YouTube videos. But this this fragrance, I didn't like it because it's too subtle. For me, it's a very subtle wear, and you have to appreciate the subtleties because it doesn't scream. It's also very light in the notes. It's created by Jean-Claude Elena from 2005 in the Garden collection of fragrances from Hermes. It's green mango, lotus flower, calamus, sycamore wood, and of course, tomato leaf or the tomato fruit. It's a delicious fragrance, especially when you appreciate its subtleties, because it's not a screamer of a fragrance. And to me, it also wears like a skin scent, but quite beautiful. I think Jean-Claude Elena did some great work. Where is this? I can't see this. Here it is, sorry. Anyway, Hermes Un Jardin sur le Nil at number 4. Alright, moving on to number 3, going to the house of Parlez-moi de Parfum. It's Chypre Mojo, this one right here. So Chypre Mojo, to me, is a Chypre fragrance. Obviously, the name says Chypre, but it is a fruity mango Chypre. Delicious, delicious. This one to me is unique because typically I see roses in Chypre fragrances. This one doesn't have a rose. It has the fruitiness of the mango, but typically you'll see lots of patchouli, you'll see oak moss, and bergamot for a top note. And also you'll see labdanum. I'm assuming they've left those notes off here, but they do mention mango, they do mention patchouli, bergamot, and carnation. If you like the idea of a Chypre fragrance, because I think this also wears beautifully in the autumn, definitely try this one, especially if you like fruity Chypre. This is definitely a fruity Chypre because it has very, very prominent mango notes. So this is Chypre Mojo from the house of Parlez-moi de Parfum. That is created by Michel Almerac. And then finally, this is the second fragrance from the house of L'Artisan Parfumeur, and the second fragrance created by Bertrand Duchaufour. This is Timbuktu. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Love, love, love this one. It's this patchouli and vetiver combo with the addition of mango to give it a fruitiness. So he's created a great fragrance here. I think this is one of the all-time greatest fragrances he's created for L'Artisan. In fact, I think the oud fragrance he created for them, now I'm drawing a blank with the name, is also, like, I feel like it's a masterpiece. This one is as well. But this is vetiver, incense, papyrus, mango, myrrh, pink pepper, patchouli, and cardamom. So it's spices. This to me kind of is also a little bit like, I'm not saying it's identical, something like African leather. There's no leathery experience here, but I think it's inspired by kind of Africa, especially Timbuktu. But if you like the idea of mango with lots of dry notes, vetiver is very dry here, the patchouli, it's all very, very you know, earthy as well. Definitely try this one. You got to also remember it's got papyrus, and to me papyrus is very unique smelling green plant. Kind of has the smell of, you know, vetiver, patchouli, earthiness, earthy kind of woods experience all rolled into one, and that's what you get here. This is a very woody fragrance, except for that it has the mango note. So it's Timbuktu at number 2, created by Bertrand Duchaufour. And then finally, my number 1 favorite mango fragrance, also created by Bertrand Duchaufour from the small indie niche house of Nila Vermeer Creations. It's Bombay Bling. Man, this one's so good. This is absolutely very, very delicious. Really, really delicious. Created in 2012. It's Bertrand Duchaufour, as I said. It's mango, frangipani, lychee fruit, blackcurrant, tuberose, ylang ylang, jasmine, gardenia, rose, vanilla, sandalwood. So it's a fruity floral experience. It's a tropical fragrance, tropical fruity fragrance. Not necessarily beachy. It's like a fruit cocktail experience at a beach resort kind of a thing. It starts off very fruity and floral, and then it eventually becomes kind of warm and woody, and the dry down a little ambery as well. Very delicious. Definitely deserves the number 1 spot, because out of all of these fragrances, this is the one I wear the most. This is fantastic mango focused fragrance. This is Nila Vermeer Creations Bombay Bling. So, so delicious. Do you guys know that one? Do you know that brand? do definitely check that one out. It's super delicious, guys. Anyway, that's my top 15 mango fragrances video for you guys. What are your thoughts on these fragrances, and is there a mango fragrance I left off? Of course, I don't have every single mango fragrance. These are what I have to put together a top 15 list, and stay tuned for the bonus fragrance after the outro. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video, please share it, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. So because of this video, I ended up buying a new bottle of this fragrance, and I have not worn this fragrance since the early to mid 90s. This is from the house of Calvin Klein. It's Escape. Boy, this fragrance has been watered down. I'm going to spray some on and give you my honest thoughts on this, because it's brand new. I just got it. Yeah, it does bring back memories of that smell. In fact, when I started film school here, there was a guy, a foreign, somebody from another country. He wore so much of this fragrance in the classroom. It totally takes me back there. But to me, I feel like it's super toned down. It is way toned down. Any beastliness of this particular fragrance is completely gone. And this is definitely just much lighter, and also the word diet, like, you know, you go buy like a half and half milk versus 2%. This is the 2% version of this fragrance, when it used to be the half and half, like full on fat kind of a fragrance. You know, that's what I remember this one. But this came out in 1993, created by Steve DeMarco. It features melon, mango, marine notes, eucalyptus, birch, oak moss, grapefruit, vetiver, sandalwood, cypress, and juniper. You know, it still smells good. It still reminds me of that fragrance. Totally does, but much lighter version of it. Anyway, Escape for Men from the house of Calvin Klein. They had so many great fragrances. It started out with Obsession for Men, Eternity for Men, Escape for Men. I think I remember Contradiction. So many great fragrances they had. I hardly wear any of their fragrances anymore. Do you wear any of their fragrances? Do let me know if you're a fan of Calvin Klein's Escape for Men. And that's the end of my video, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a good one. Bye-bye.